Hello everyone, we are just going to do a gel nail tutorial today. So I have to do my own nails and I am going to do it from start to finish. I do have my nails prepped already, but I am going to do the application from start to finish. So I debulked what was on my nails. I took most of it off, and finally, because I really needed to do these nails so badly, and I have nearly, I would say 70% of it gone, and on this thumb it's fully gone. So I have been really wanting to show some new products that I'm using lately. I have been using on my clients and I am going to do it on myself today. We are also going to do, I have this hand done. So this is my right hand. So this is the hand that I use. I work my non-dominant hand to do this hand. So if I do this hand first, it's always a good sign that I will go ahead and do my left hand, because my left hand is my non-dominant. So yeah, I try and do this hand first, because if I do this hand first, I will definitely go and do, continue on and do this hand, basically. So yeah, so it is fully prepped here, and I am going to use some new products today. Hello, the Polished Phoenix. Hi, how are you doing? I'm just doing my nails here today. So yeah, so I'm grabbing some Magpie products. So I've started to use Magpie again, and I am using their Build It. So this is their builder in a bottle, and I have used a lot of this. So this is the shade Pom Pom, and this is the shade Pampas. This is very sheer. This is a little bit less sheer, so I'm just going to, this is a little bit pinker. So if I can show you as close as possible, it's a little bit pinker. It is good for a French as well, but I'm not going to use that one today because I used this one on this hand with the colour over it. So I'm just going to use this exact same thing that I used. So I'm just going to show you, this is Pampas now. So it looks a lot pinker on the brush, but when you actually apply it, it is sheer enough, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So I'm going to start off, going to dehydrate the nail. We have a little lint-free wipe here, and we have some acetone. And I'm just going to dehydrate the nail because I have all my prepping done. And yeah, I'm just going to rub from the cuticle down. Always rub down the way, because you're going to pull any dust that you have off, instead of rubbing up the way where you're going to push it back up into that cuticle area, basically. So you don't really want to do that. You want to pull it down the way. Like so, and I'm just going to put that aside for now. Okay, I am going to use their rubber base. So this is Rubber Up. It's called Rubber Up and it's their rubber base. And this does have a little bit of HEMA in it. So if you have a HEMA allergy, you might want to look into it. But I mean, low levels of HEMA compared to other problematic brands. Okay, so starting off, I am going to just scrub in my rubber base. So what we do is we do a thin layer of the rubber base and we just literally scrub it in like that. And you're very careful not to touch your skin at all, because it'll just lift if you do touch your skin. Just stay away. I know it's very tempting to go right up to the top and make it look like it's completely touching everything, but you don't want to do that because it's going to lift and it's not going to look good either when you are finished. When you have your overall set done, you can see when it's touching. Do you like blue nails? Oh, I cannot, because I'm actually matching up to my other hand and we have a French tip on the other hand. So for today, I'm going to be doing a French tip just exactly like this. because I already have my other hand done, unfortunately. And one thing I never really do on myself is a French tip, because I usually always do colours and stuff, because I'm usually trying out new colours I have, or maybe a new trend or something. So I never ever have a white French. And I'm really looking forward to having a white French. I'm just want to kind of match everything for the next few weeks. So like that, now we are just going up as close as possible and scrubbing it in. The brush on this, if you can see, is really, really nice. It's kind of round, but it's not too thick, and it kind of fans out. The brush is so good. It's such a nice brush to work with for your base coat. Okay, so we have that in now, and we'll pop that in for a full cure in the lamp. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you the couple of magpie build-its that I have. Like this one is Pom Pom, and that's a little bit pinker, and then this is Pampaz. Now, I have been using this on my clients. As you can see, this bottle is a bit scruffy. I mean, you can see it's a little bit scruffy. I have been using that on my clients, and I've moved a lot of clients over to Magpie for the moment, just to see, because we used glitter bells a lot, and I still use glitter bells on some clients, but some of them are just having slight more lifting than usual. And I do think it's just since the TPO was removed. That's okay. That's, you know, a little bit of teething problems. And like I said, it's not every client that's having these issues, but there are one or two that's having more. It's just more lifting than usual. And I just feel like it's since the TPO came out of the base coat especially. Okay, so I'm just getting my little striper brush ready as well, because I always use this little liner brush when I'm doing my builder or my gel application. Okay, we'll just do one at a time now. So I'm gonna go in. I probably should show you exactly how I lift the bead. So I just come and I go to the side. I pick up from the side, and I have a bead literally on one side of the brush like this, and I plonk down here near the cuticle, near to the cuticle area, pushing it back the way, and I just pull down from side to side with my brush. And if I need to add more, I will definitely go in and add more before it's cured. You kind of know by looking at your nail whether you need to add more or not. I also find this is not as runny as the Glitter Bells gel. The Glitter Bells gel is quite runny, so if you're a beginner, it can be tricky. Now I'm just going to use my striper brush. To pull up towards the cuticle and get it as flush as I can possibly. Now I'm just going to turn it upside down for a moment, just to let gravity pull that closer to the center. And I'm just going to clean up here at the side, so I'm getting that away from my skin. And I am just making sure that we are very central with that apex, and that it's not okay. The reason why we're doing one at a time as well, because I don't particularly want to go finish filing over the top of these nails. I just want to put on another little pink and the French tip and then be done. I'm just going to put that on for 60 seconds, and we will cure one at a time then. So that's gone in for just a flash cure there. And we're going to move on to the next one. So again, I'm going in with my bead on my brush, like so. And we are going to place it in the center, push it back a little bit, and then pull it from side to side. You don't need to go too near the side walls either, especially if where you're working is hot or warm, because the gel then is going to be warm. At the moment it is quite warm, so this gel is definitely warmer than normal. So when it's warmer than normal, it has the tendency to run into the side walls and the cuticles. So you just have to keep an eye on it. And also, that's the reason why I don't need a slip layer for this. Just looking at it from every angle you can see there. I'm just keeping an eye. And then I'm going to turn it over so that the gel can run into the center. That's why this liner brush is so handy to have when you're doing gel, because you can really move the gel around. Yeah. So I'm going to pop that in now for another flash cure before we move on to the next one. I should probably move this closer a little bit. And all we're doing is we're going to cure that for maybe 10 seconds or so before we move on to the next nail, because then we know that it will be cured in place, but it's also going to get a full cure by the end of the application. Just leave my colours in the background here so you can see what I'm going to be using for this French tip as well. But I have to say, I am loving this Magpie Build It. It is so nice to work with. Like you can see, look how smooth that is. And I'm hoping that clients' retention with it is going to be as nice as the application. But I have heard a lot of good things about it, so you can see I'm just looking at the side of my application to make sure that it is, I don't want to say perfect, but as perfect as it can be without it running everywhere. Because like I said, I do not want to finish file at all today. Only at the end I will refine the shape after everything is done, after the French tip is applied and everything is done, I will go in and refine the shape. But I don't want to finish file the actual gel on top because I am just lazy and I don't really want to do it. Okay, so so I don't know if you can see, it's quite sheer. So it wouldn't be one of those, I wouldn't use this for French unless I put something over it. I mean another French base colour over it. That's what I did for these. So I used that gel colour and I put like some D&D French glaze over it, and that's exactly, or pink glaze it's called, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. But I'm going to do that with you guys and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. But this is a beautiful, this would be gorgeous. This shade would be gorgeous if you worked in an area where you weren't really allowed nails, or you were allowed something very natural. This colour here would be perfect for that, because it's sheer and it's very natural nail looking. So again, I'm just using my liner brush to pull up near the cuticle area and over to the side walls. Also just gonna use it to pull up into the center of the apex, trying to just make that nail look as natural as possible. And I always look from the side, from the front and from the other side. And if I need to pull anything, then that just gives you a good idea. I'm also using my lamp that's overhead to give me a good line of light. Your line of light is this light here that's shining on your nails. So when you look at that, you can kind of get a good idea of the lumps and bumps if they're there. Okay, we're going to go in and flash cure that. I'm so excited just to have French on my nails. I just feel like French will make me feel put together for the next while. Okay, so next up now we are going to do the thumb. So I'm picking up my bead again from my bottle and just placing it in the center like that, and I'm going to use my brush to push up, to push to the side, pull it down the nail. Again, I am not going to be afraid to add anything, especially it's not cured yet, so you can add it into the center where that gel is, and it will just kind of melt into that gel that's already there. And then I'm using my liner brush to pull around. I have to say the viscosity of this gel is really nice, because like I know I keep saying it, but it is quite warm here in the nail room today. And it's really not running. Like I can see it, it's runnier than on colder days, but it's not running everywhere where it's actually causing me heartache to try and do it. So that is so nice. I'm just checking it from every side. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm going to pop that in now, and we're going to do a full cure. So I'm just going to leave this hand in for a proper cure now, because for each of the nails we kind of just flash cured it. And again, if you're just jumping on, that is Magpie Beauty in Build It, which is their builder in a bottle, and this is the shade Pampas. So once that's fully cured, then I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go in with Pink Glaze from D&D, and this is, yeah, Pink Glaze D&D. 877, I think the number is. This is a really light pink, and it's great for going over French, especially if you have a builder layer that hasn't covered fully, or you can see maybe nail marks underneath, or you can see some white marks on your nail underneath. This is a really good one for making your French nice and not opaque. Opaque isn't the right word because you don't really want your French to be opaque, but like good coverage on your nail, basically. And once we have that done, then we're going to go in with the Glitter Bells Unbelievable Gel in white, and that is going to be our French tip. Okay, so these are the nails finished. And we are just going to go in over, because like I said, we're not going to do any finish filing today. There is no real need. They look good. So I'm going to go in with this layer of pink glaze, and I'm just going to show you how nice it is at covering up any inconsistencies or any marks, I suppose, underneath. It's just a lovely milky kind of a French pink base. That's the way I would describe this one. It's a milky pink. Now, so that is layer one, or that's on the first finger. I'm going to look over them before I cure them, but I'm just going in with one layer on each anyway. So again, like when I did the base coat and when I did the builder layer, I am just going as close as I can without touching, because it will look pretty bad if you touch. And like I have done that, and I will do that. It's not totally avoidable, but if you can get it as close up without touching, and even if there's a little bit of space, it's still going to look better than if you touch it and you cure it touched, because it'll have this little, I kind of say a plasticky look when it's cured to the cuticle area. And again, like I said, I will probably do it again. It's not that it's never been done, or it's not that it's impossible. How am I saying this? I suppose I am not saying I never do it. I could literally do it tomorrow, but it's just if you can avoid it by leaving a tiny bit of space instead, then your manicure will actually look better than if it's touching. And before I cure this, I'm going to go in with my little cleanup brush and I'm going to check all around just to make sure that it's not touching. I can already see a tiny little bit there that I did. Tiny, tiny, tiny little dot here that touched. So I'm just gonna go in here with my cleanup brush. I need to get a better cleanup brush as well, because this cleanup brush is seen better days. And I'm just gonna glance over these. This looks like a tad that it has touched up there. So I'm just gonna, just to make it, yeah, I'm gonna pop those in for a full cure now. Okay, so someone said, recap how to use cheap, affordable expensive nail polish at home or on all our nails, even waterproof nail polish. I don't actually use normal standard nail polish. I only use gel products or gel polish. I don't actually use normal polish at all because I just don't like waiting for it to dry. So I don't have it at all. I just have gel polish. So I actually don't have too many tips on how to dry nail polish. But if anyone does, feel free to add them down below. Okay, so this is how it is looking. We have our builder done and we have our layer of French pink done as well over top. And I think this is going to be perfect because we are going to have a top coat going over. So it's quite natural looking. And I think we're going to go into our French. So we have, like I said, glitter bells in Unbelievable Gel White, which is getting very low because I use this so much. And I'm going to use my nice battered liner brush to do the French. Make sure it's okay, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to dip into my pot here and we're going to start off with the index finger. So I am just going from right to left. No, sorry, from left to right actually. And I always start thinner than I think I'm going to want it. Because if you want to add on, you can always add on. But if you want to take away, it's annoying to take away. So this isn't perfect by any means now because I'm going to clean this right up. We are going to make it thicker for sure. We're going to pull it up here and we are going to go up a little bit higher on the edge of this smile line and pull it in. It's actually very hard to do it, trying to make sure that you can see it in the camera, but I think it's okay. And let's see, just looking at it from that angle, make sure I might just hold my finger down a little bit. I'm going to pop that in for a little flash cure and we are going to go on to the next nail. So I just have my glitter bells pot over here, and I'm just getting a little bit on my brush, not too much, but enough for the French tip. And we are going to start from the left again. Yeah, from the left. And we're going to bring it all the way over. So we're doing a thick enough French, not too crazy, but definitely not a thin French. Like I say, I always start off thinner than I'm going to go because you can always add on. So it's definitely easier to add on than to take away. Like so. I'm just looking at it from every angle too, and I am going to also just lay it down flat, and I'm going to pull it in together as well from this side and pull it up to this side. Just trying to make sure it's very similar to the one next to it. Also use my liner brush just to pull in those sides and make them nice and neat. Like this. Now, that looks pretty good. I like the look of that one, so I'm going to pop that in for a flash cure as well. And we're going to get some paint on for the next French. So with French, I just like playing around with it as well until it is exactly how I like it. Okay, so that's a good flash cure there, and we'll go in with the next one. So again, I hope you can see well enough, but it's just kind of hard to get the nail right in the view of the camera and also just record it. But I'm just going to do my best in getting it on view. Also, I tend to kind of do my sides first as well and fill those in a little bit and then work with the middle of the smile line and pulling that out. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did with the other one and pop it down and kind of this view as well. Now I think that is quite good. See a little bit sticking out there, so I'm just going to grab my cleanup brush and try and get that piece. Okay, so pop that in again for a full cure. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this little French live demonstration. So you kind of see in real time as well how long it takes. I would find it a lot easier to paint a French on a client at this stage than myself, especially when I'm filming it, because when you're filming it you have to put it in front of the camera and it's really hard to put it right in front of the camera. So I do find it a little bit easier just to be working on someone's hands here when it's French rather than myself, which is funny because nearly everything else I do on myself is probably easier to do it on yourself than on clients. But I really am glad that I went for I might do the thumb next actually. I'm really glad that I went for French this time. I can't remember the last time I've had a French. And I definitely haven't had one in a long time that didn't have something else incorporated. Like, I remember I did have a French that had a couple of flake nails, like, you know, with the little built-in glitter flakes on some of them. And I did have a French like that. I had a cat-eye French recently enough, but just a plain white French, normal French tip, I have not had in so long. I probably would say it's definitely been a couple of years. Definitely. I kind of find the thumb easier to do at this angle because you're looking directly at the way you are looking at your finger every day. So I find it easier to do from this angle, the thumb, definitely so much easier. Just holding it up in front of you and painting on the polish. Super cute, super cute. Let's take off the mess we made there. That is cute. Just checking the sides, making sure we have all the sides filled in. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna flash cure that. And then we just have the baby finger to do, and that's kind of tricky because it's the smallest finger, so it's literally tiny to paint on a French tip, but we'll make it work. Okay, so we have that flash cured now, and we're going to go in with our pinky. Again, I'm just going in at the left hand side first. Going to do our little edges and pull right in like that. And then we're going to fill in. I actually can't wait to kind of finish file the edges when the top coat is on now, because it's just going to make such a difference. When you do that at the end, it makes such a difference. Okay, now we'll pop that in. And that is my Glitter Bells Unbelievable Gel. So that is my holy grail for white French tips and for white nail art. I've gone through 2 pots of this. I think it's 2. Definitely 2, if not 3. I think it's only 2 though. And there is a lot of gel in it. And the fact that I've gone through almost 2 pots will just tell you. But I use it a lot. But it is a brilliant white gel. Okay, so I'm just going to take out my top coat now. Is it this one? I think that's an empty bottle. Let me see. And I'm going to show you top coat and finish filing. So, hold on, yeah, this is it. So the top coat I'm using is a great universal top coat. It's from Clarissa and it's called Top Diamond. It's such a good universal top coat. It works so well on every gel polish I have, and I have a lot of different brands. I have mainly Madame Glam, I have some D&D, I have Nail Reserve, I have Gel Bottle Ink, the manicure company. I'm just looking behind me now to see what I have. I have some cat eyes from a Korean brand, from Baroque. And then I have Clarissa and all that stuff, and this top coat works so well on all of them. And it's so shiny, but you're going to see exactly how it turns out. I will show you the end result in a second once it's cured, but it's so shiny and it stays shiny as well. Unless, of course, you or clients are popping their hands in loads of chemicals, but the vast majority comes back. The shine is so good. It's one of the best ones I've ever used for that, for the shine staying good. And yeah. So I'm just making sure that I put a nice even layer over. And again, as always, not to sound like a broken record, but you're not touching the side or the top of your nail, the top being the cuticle area. Yeah? You are going close, but not too close. One thing I will say is this top coat is great, but it will run. If you give it time, it will run, especially in the hot weather. So you just have to keep an eye on it, really. A good top coat on French tip pulls it all together, and a good top coat application on French tip pulls it all together really, really well. There's no point taking your time on a French tip application and making it look perfect and then not taking your time with your top coat, because top coat can ruin it if you let it get lumpy or if you apply too much and it kind of gathers in one area. So you want to be able to float your top coat on a little bit, and also looking from different angles all the time to see if your top coat is nice and even. And that there's no bubbles and stuff. Just making sure of that now. And you can also turn it upside down like that, like you do builder gel. If you turn your top coat upside down, that can help as well. And sometimes if I'm taking too much time with my top coat on a client, if they have nail art or something and I'm trying to cover it as best I can, and yeah, if I have a bad feeling about it that it's going to run, I will top coat 2 fingers at a time and go to the next hand. Now, I don't often do that, but you can definitely do that. So don't be afraid of that either. If you want to top coat 2 at a time, make sure it's perfect and go on to the next one. It also depends on the brand. You'll know what way your brand of top coat is. But if it's a little bit watery or runny, you can definitely do that. So one last look around. I'm making sure before they go in the lamp, I'm making sure there's no divots. I'm making sure I've gotten every part of the nail, and I'm making sure to look from each side how it looks. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to pop that in for a full cure now. And just in case, if you're just joining now, I am going to just pop in what we used for this French tip. We went in with Magpie Beauty's Build It in the shade Pampas. This is the builder gel that I used. Then we went in with one coat on top of that with pink glaze from D&D. One coat of this over that Magpie Beauty Builder. And we went in with this white from Glitter Bells to paint the French tip. And then we went in with Claressa's Diamond top coat. So you can see how I could never stick to one brand, because there was about 4 different brands there in that whole look. And I also should say, before, underneath the Magpie Build It, we went in with the Magpie Rubber Up, which is their rubber base. Now, Build It states that you don't have to go in with the base coat underneath, but I decided for more security I'm going to go in with a rubber base. I also was talking to a nail tech on Instagram when I decided to change over to Magpie, or to trial Magpie, and she did recommend going in with this underneath just for added security. So that I just took her advice because she's been using it for so long. I went in with this. I said I would buy this, the rubber base, and just use it as security under all of the new clients that I trialed this on. So yeah. I just need to get a file. Okay, so that is fully cured and fully done. This is how they are looking. I really like this. Nice, clean, short, square French. But we are going to go in and we are going to finish file these a little bit. And we're going to show you exactly how good they look when you do that. Just going to clean off my brush here. And we're going to clean off the brush that I used for the builder application. Ooh. I do have more brushes coming on the way because these ones are a little bit messed up. But okay. Okay, I'm going to go in with my finish file part now. So all I do to finish file is this. So I'm trying to straighten my hand in front of the camera as much as possible. You grab your file and you file underneath here, okay? Now, when I say underneath, I mean we are not going up on top of the colour that we've just, you know, really broken our hearts to try and perfect the smile line. We're not going to do that. We're going to go underneath, like I'm at an angle there. So you can kind of see there, look, I'm at an angle. We're going underneath. And also you can go from the side. So I would go at an angle from the side as well. And I would just go underneath. That's the most important thing I can say, is underneath. like here, you can see me doing it there. I'm just gently going underneath, but I don't want to curl that corner either. So you have to be careful with the sides, because if you go with the sides, when you're filing the sides, if you go too much, like if you go too much like this, you can end up curling the side of your nail, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep it a nice straight square. So same again for this one. We're just going to go like this. We're making it nice and sharp. We're going to tempt the side, and we don't want to curl it, like I said. So again, and then we'll do this one. And the baby. So like this. Like so. So if you get what I'm doing, I'm going really gently and underneath. And you can see already, look at the difference it makes when you're looking straight down at it. It just squares it off nicely. And finally, I'm going to go extra on it, and I'm going to take out my e-file. This is my Melody Susie plus e-file. I do have a discount code for Melody Susie. If you want to check out the description box, it'll be in there. But if you don't and you're too lazy, the code is nails12, and it is for 12% off. So just nails, capital N and 12, and it's all the one word, and it's 12% off. So I'm putting my mini mandrel bit in there, and I'm just going to turn it up to 5,000 RPMs. I'm going to put it in forward, so it's forward at 5,000 RPMs, and we are going to refine the shape underneath. So this is how you do it. You just go in, and with a really gentle hand, you are just refining this shape underneath, and all it's doing is making a little bit of a C curve. Again, I don't always do this. I only do it if necessary. I don't always do it on clients, only if necessary. And you have to be careful that of your hyponychium, which is the skin underneath here. Right there, you have to be really, really careful, because some people have a higher hyponychium than others. So you have to be careful and know your clients, and check your clients and check yourself as well, because you could have a high hyponychium without even realizing it. But you can see here, like, it just gives such a nice little C curve. Look at that. Even on a little short nail, like, that's a lovely little C curve there. It also takes off any bulk that the gel might have added. And same with the thumb. I'm just gonna go in here. Yeah, okay, so that's enough, I think, for that. I think that shape is pretty good. Just gonna dust off these guys, but you can see I'm really happy with those. I really like how they turned out. And you can keep like filing away if you want. If you want to refine your own shape and they're your own nails, you can keep on going in with your little file and you can keep, you know, filing away at them. Especially if there's gel on them, or acrylic, biab gel, hard gel, builder in a bottle, soft gel. You can do that. It's not really going to, what's it called, you know, compromise your gel. It's not going to take it off by finish filing a little bit around the edges. It's not going to compromise it. It's fine. Now, I wouldn't finish file with just a gel polish manicure, or shellac as people call it. I would not finish file gel polish. I would only finish file if it was rubber base, maybe a bit rubber base, builder in a bottle / biab, hard gel, or acrylic. So now guys, this is how they look. Thank you so much for joining me doing my nails today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is how they look. This is my other hand, which I did a couple of days ago. And I am so glad to have a literal full set done on myself, and French tip, which is something I never ever do. So I am so happy with them. They're going to go with everything now. And yeah, that's it guys. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to leave you. Thank you so much for joining me doing my nails, and I will see you very shortly in the next one. I have a Shein nail haul coming up, and I think it'll be arriving this week. So I'm topping up on all my nail goodies from Shein, and I am going to record a video on that and show everyone everything that I got. So thank you so much guys. I will see you then.